Hey everybody, Michael Fabiano here, Sports Illustrated Fantasy, and happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're getting ready for turkey, football, and you know what that means, fantasy football. And with help with the waiver wire this week, let's bring in the princess of props, Jen Piacenti. It's an important week. There are no teams on a bye, but people still need help on their rosters. Jen, let's start off with the quarterback position, where Matt Ryan's coming off a bad game, but he's got a good matchup against the Steelers next on the slate.
Matt Ryan actually has a 73.3% completion rate across his last two games, which is the best among all starting quarterbacks. Who thought I would say that? He threw no interceptions last week. He did take 4 sacks, and you're right, he put up a fantasy dud, but this week should be a little bit better because Pittsburgh just allowed 4 touchdown passes to Joe Burrow. They lead the league with 272 passing yards allowed per game and 22 passing touchdowns. Plus, he's got that extra day of rest. He will have had a great meal on Thursday. If you need to stream a quarterback, I really like Matt Ryan.
Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Taylor Heineke also potentially worth a look. Let's move on to the running backs, where it's a bit thin, but there's actually a couple of players out there who may be flex options this week on the wire.
Right, so we talked about Joe Burrow's 4 touchdown passes. Well, 3 of them went to Samaje Perine. We had that question when Jamar Chase was, marked to be out for a few weeks. So we thought, okay, who's going to step up? Is it T. Higgins? Is it Joe Burrow? No, maybe the answer is it's just a Cincinnati running back, whoever it is, because they have 8 touchdowns total across the past 3 games. 4 of which were caught through the air. Now, Mixon left this game with a concussion, and Chris Evans is kind of banged up, so that means it might just be Perine this weekend. Yes, it's a tough matchup versus the Titans for the run game, but the Titans have actually allowed a league-leading 229 receiving yards to running backs across the past 4 weeks, and Samaje Perine is 97% available.
Latavius Murray is now... He's got to be owned in all leagues. I mean, the Broncos cut Melvin Gordon. He was on the practice squad in New Orleans like a month and a half ago. Cam Akers led the Rams in carries last week. I still don't love that backfield, but certainly worth a roster spot. And then if people waited to pick up Rachaad White until now because the Bucs had a bye last week, go get him. At wide receiver, we had a rookie sort of pop last week for the Titans.
So we were all waiting for this Treylon Burks breakout. Of course, he had an injury, and then he came back 2 weeks ago. And across the past 2 weeks, he's seen 15 targets. He had a team-high 8 targets this week for 111 yards. Look, this is the kind of guy that could really carry you through the rest of the season. They've been looking for that A.J. Brown replacement. They don't have a clear wide receiver one. It could be Treylon Burks. They're facing the Bengals this week, and they've allowed a league-leading 12.69 yards per target across the last 3 contests. So go ahead and put your bids in for Treylon Burks, who's about 80% available.
Darius Slayton, also a good add with Wan'Dale Robinson injured. And also, Donovan Peoples-Jones has quietly been not great, but pretty good. And if Rondale Moore misses time, all of a sudden, Greg Dortch is back in our good graces. Finally, at the tight end position, this thing is a wasteland. After losing Kyle Pitts, who really wasn't any good to begin with this season, Darren Waller's out, Zach Ertz is out, Dallas Goedert's injured. Jen, help the people out there on the holiday weekend.
Well, first off, I want to say maybe Pitts being moved to the IR is actually just a relief because now you don't have to make that tough decision about whether or not you should start him. We just know don't start Kyle Pitts. Hopefully he's healthy 4 weeks from now. But we're going to look at Juwan Johnson today. Again, as you mentioned, really thin position, right? There's not a lot out there, but Juwan Johnson has 5 touchdowns across the past 4 weeks. He's run the 9th most routes amongst tight ends. And interestingly, he's had a high target rate within 10 yards of the goal line. So if you're looking to play that, touchdown lotto, and that's about all we can do right now, Juwan Johnson is an ad.
Yeah, if he's not available, Foster Moreau's playing the Seahawks this week. Logan Thomas coming off a good game for the Commanders. And then if you're really desperate, maybe go for Trey McBride there in Arizona. And that's all for our waiver wire pickup segment here for the Thanksgiving week. And remember, folks, 3 games on Turkey Day. Make sure you get those lineups set. And, of course, make sure you're checking out Sports Illustrated's YouTube channel where you can find waiver wire ads, starts and sits, and so much more. Hit that subscribe button, and happy Thanksgiving.